Can you hear me well? Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm very happy of being here. I would like to tell you something about a possible way to connect different topics such as music, math, and technology. We had a very interesting presentation about colors, so this is about sound and chords. So, let me say something about my journey. I was born in Italy, in Palermo. So as you can see here, there is a lot of sun, nice place. Then, to study math and music together, I moved to a place where there was a little bit of snow. So this is a picture of me in Paris, where I studied at RIEC, so a center of research between music and science. And then I moved towards a place where there was even more snow. That is Minnesota. This is a picture of me with frozen glasses. But if you go to the website of University of Minnesota, you see pictures like that. So otherwise, nobody will go there. So, anyway, so the idea of joining math and musical research plus 3D motion tracking technology that is developed here, so gave birth to CubeHarmonic. This is a modern still life where you can see also computers and where there is a detail. This is a cube. This looks like Rubik's cube, but there are musical notes on that. And let's hear something. So there was a very little demonstration of a new musical instrument that is the CubeHarmonic. And this is the research group I have the pleasure to collaborate with. We have been developing this project by using a technology created here. And these are the topic we are connecting. So, from one side we have musical reasons, we have mathematical reasons, and this is the start of the theoretical idea. And I will give you some details about musical reasons and mathematical reasons. I had the theoretical idea when I was studying in Paris, at RIEC. But there are also technological reasons because we can embody abstract ideas within tangible device. Because, as you know, music theory is something that can be a little bit abstract, and math is also like that. Okay, I have to give you a few hints about some musical reasons. So, wait, is it okay? Okay, let me check it. Sorry, just a second, I open it again. This GarageBand. So, the idea is that we can start from musical. If it is not playing, maybe I can just use words. Okay. Okay, I will not sing notes because I don't want to torture you with the sounds, but so let us get only imaging. So you have here a piano keyboard, and notes are going in this direction, like moving upward. But we can also make, like investigate interval. For example, from Fa to Do, from F to C, we have 5 positions. So we see that there is a 5th. And from, for example, from Fa to La, we have 3 positions. So we said it is a 3rd. And we can move by a 5th up. So for example, Fa, Do, Sol, and so on. Or by 3rd up. And we can build up a diagram where we have this structure. So, a 5th up, a 3rd up, and so on. This is the idea. So, we can build up a theoretical construction where we take into account intervals, so distances between notes. As you can see here, the diagram, we can keep moving and creating this tiling. So, we can have 5th in this way, and 3rd in this way. If we use the English notation, we have this structure. And this is called a tonnet. So this is an object used in mathematical music theory where you can investigate score in a more abstract way. And I'm using also here the other colors, and usually people represent major and minor chords to have like this difference, so like upward and some kind downward as colors. And we can cover this plane, so we don't not only have notes, we also have chords. And this is the definition of tonette. This is an object research by people in the mathematical music theory area. However, this is a child of the plane, but we can imagine to use this structure applying to another shape. So, for example, applying that to a cube. Of course, we have to change something because we can fold here, but there we have to use something together. So, if we have symmetries here, like fifth and third and other intervals, we can keep some of them, but we cannot keep other of them. So, it is interesting, it is worth of study, the geometry, not only of music, but the geometry of music applied into another shape. And as you can see here, even now we can investigate chords and so on and see where they are kept and where they are not kept. So, another reasons of interest toward this project are from the side of math. So, we can define musical transformations also from the side of math. For example, if we choose a very simple melody of 3 notes, just like do, re, mi, 3 notes, we can make permutation of that. And we can both mathematically describe them, for example, in this very simple way. But we can also investigate the musical meaning, because we expect to have a huge variety of mathematical transformations, some of them will be more interesting, some of them will not. And this is a topic of study. There are several researchers working in the field of music and combinatorics. And the idea is that we can put together this styling of the plane with chords with permutation. And this is the core idea of CubeHarmonic. Of course, in math, we have an entire field of research about groups, for example. So, with application in physics, and so it's something huge. I want to talk about this in detail. But we already have a tangible device where these theoretical ideas of permutations, groups, and so on are embodied. That is the Rubik's Cube, that was developed as a teaching tool. And the idea is that we can cover this cube with notes, as I described before, and so we can join together this concept of music theory and mathematics. This was the original version of CubeHarmonic, where I had a chord on each slice, a sequence of chords on each face, and a different sequence of chords on each face. And the idea is that once we scramble the cube, we get different chord sequences and different transformations. And we can mix musical styles. So there is a correspondence between mixing theoretically and playing. Okay, now, technological reasons. It's possible to build up things. This was a very first rough prototype that I had made on my own when I was at the University of Minnesota. It was just possible to press notes and play. I will play just one of them. Okay, and but we have an improved prototype that uses the 3D motion tracking technology, and that is developed here at RIEC in collaboration with a group of Professor Kitamura. You can see here a virtual realization, because we have both a tangible realization and also a virtual cube. You can see here a sequence of transformation and a sequence of chords. So we have our exact correspondence between math and musical transformations. We have notation that represent the moves on the cube, and we can use this notation to represent moves on the cube harmonic, so that position on guitar when people are learning it. And this is a motion tracking technology developed here. So we are measuring actually the difference between the magnetic field with or without some LC coils that are working as markers. And we have these markers here in the cube. So we can track the position of each little part of the cube, so we know where nodes are. The advantages is that these markers are small, light, wireless, batteries, and identifiable. And this is how the system looks like. So apparently it's like a normal cube, but it has these markers inside. And we not only track where each little piece of the cube is, but also where the cube is with respect to this platform of these things. And we can map into sound not only the single notes, but also the movement of the cube with respect to the space. In particular, we choose to map as an overall loudness change and overall pitch change. So the general idea is that we start from 3D motion tracking system. We estimate the state of the Rubik's Cube, we generate chords, we play sound, and finally we make music.
We embed the markers into the Rubik's Cube's corner and center cubelets to track the scrambling motion.
Okay, we can talk more about symmetry. It's interesting because there are several essential differences between what is the original Rubik's Cube and what is this musical version. We can, for example, consider rotational symmetry with respect to this axis. If we play just notes here, and you see so, so, do, G, G, C, and then we make a rotation, of course the notes change. However, if we are considering the classical Rubik's Cube, we don't have any change because there is invariance with respect to the notes all the same color. But here, even notes of the same color have a different sounds. However, if we consider to play all the notes on a single phase and then we make a rotation, the sounds are the same because they are playing all together. We lose again the symmetry if we select a path. And it's interesting because we can play chords by playing notes together, but we could also play notes just one after the other as a melody. I'm so sorry that, let me try again. I don't know. Oh, let us imagine to have like a little melody with notes just one after the other. If we make a rotation, let's go back, it will change because even if we keep the same path, it changes the sound. So if we play chords or melodies, this influences the perception of symmetry. And in this way, again, we are dealing with objects from music that are notes, chords, melodies, and we are dealing with topics of mathematics, but also with technology, because we can play all of that. And as I said before, for example, we can change overall loudness, overall pitch, and it has a musical interest in itself because we have theremin, that is this instrument where you can change the loudness and the pitch by just moving the hands. And we can create maybe a combinatorial version of the theremin. Yes, just to give you an idea. And maybe we can also imagine to track the rotations of the cube, the rotation of the cube with respect to the place, and we can have system of curves that have a mathematical and graphic interest in themselves. This is another example of performance. have several potential applications. First of all, we have application in the field of mathematics, of course, and pedagogy. Because people can not only have things to learn in an abstract way, we can use the Rubik's Cube that already exists, but they can also enjoy sounds. So we can have a multi-sensorial approach to these things. And also students can associate mathematical description move with chord transformation, and maybe they can try to find out which transformations are giving good sounding results. We can have application for people with impairment. For example, people that have visual impairment cannot enjoy the Rubik's Cube because they cannot see colors, but they can hear sounds. So if we have a simple version of the cube with one color, one pitch, in principle, people with visual impairment can play with the Rubik's Cube. Other applications are, of course, in the field of musical creativity. People can compose, improvise, enjoy different combinations, starting from a very simple material. So, and of course, music theory can enjoy, music students can enjoy music theory in a new practice. About the future work, we are working on technology to play just melodies and single notes. Then we can also imagine to associate like movements and sound effects also. And we can also make like more complex sequences. With a little bit of polyphony. We also work in an app, development of an app with the cube is completely virtual. Other improvements that we are working on, for example, we can develop like different perspectives on the cube. So the user can see at the same time all the faces of the cube. So it's more easy to predict which chords are playing. And we can also develop a user-friendly interface, so people won't need to code to change, for example, the initial tuning of the cube. So maybe in the future we can think about concerts with CubeHarmonic and orchestra. Or maybe we can imagine some classroom setups where people will not only more theoretical learn, but they can also enjoy moves of the cube. There are some references. We have been publishing some papers about this topic, and the general idea as an application of the CubeHarmonic is described already in chapters within 3 books. And let me end with another very short performance. Thank you for your attention.